think parents just need to go back to their youth. I was Paul Gascoigne, I was Maradona. Every time I went out and played, I didn't have anyone telling me I couldn't be anyone else but those heroes.
Most importantly, what do the kids say? What do the kids want from their football experience? Because it's not the adults' game, it's the kids' game.
It's really fun to play soccer, and no matter how we do, I know that we tried our best.
Those fundamental years from 5 through to 12, call it LTPD or not, but the principles are there. And that 5 to 12 is fall in love with the game. So I think we've lost sight of really what this sport's about and how easy and how simple it can be for people to fall in love.
In everything that we do, certainly at the grassroots side, this is about the 99% of kids that are never going to make it anywhere near a professional football club. This is about giving them the best experience, and nobody stops doing something because it's just too much fun. So we have to make that experience so good they don't want to leave the game.
The fact that I'm on a team where my friends are just amazing, they're just so encouraging, that's what keeps me coming back, and we're such a fun group.
And falling in love with the game is about equipping people technically to be able to play the game, the real game, the 11v11 game, when we get old enough to do that.
The whole concept of grassroots soccer is built along age and stage development activities for the children. What we're doing is improving the playing format. By that I mean we're going to 5v5, 7v7 and 9v9. We're changing the size of the balls. Age and stage appropriate coaching, meaning coaching a 5-year-old is different than coaching a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old. So educating coaches on the characteristics of children, how that children learns, and how the coach can educate that child at that particular age and stage of his or her development.
So what was the theme of this practice today, especially the one I was watching here?
It's great for kids. If you think of the adult game, the amount of time a player is actually on the ball is quite small. So the fact that everything's small-sided and there's maximum touches on the balls, it just means the kids get more practice, get more in, and I think it's just a more appropriate learning environment for them.
Learn the game and understand the game, develop the skills in the game, and the sports science tells us that that they need to develop that in stages. Kids, they develop at different stages, both physically and also psychologically.
It's the stair-step approach up to playing the 11-a-side game. And giving the players the tools that they need through that stair-step approach of not only technique but also individual and group tactics along the way.
To be honest, I think it's a nonsense argument. If you put two U7 teams on a pitch, they want to win.
I find that it allows kids to be more competitive. I think it takes the edge off of them and they're not afraid to make mistakes. If kids are afraid to make a mistake, then they're not going to try the skills that we've been implementing in practices. If they're afraid to take on a player or do a move because if they make a mistake, they've got a coach yelling at them on the sideline, then they won't try and do it again.
For myself as a parent, that process is more important than the process of winning a $5 trophy at the end of the day.
You know, losing requires coping skills, and those coping skills don't really evolve until players hit their teenage years, when they're cognitively ready to cope with and emotionally ready to cope with certain things.
What's different about LTPD is everybody's playing, everybody's having fun. We're not worried about what the score is. You know, people are keeping score in their heads, that's fine. What we're worried about here is Johnny having fun, is Marco playing the game, is Marco working on the skills we taught him in practice.
As a child and youth worker, I work with the kids, and the esteem and the confidence the most important thing for the players.
What you're going to understand is children start scripting real strong scripts from the age of 5 to 13. So a lot of the things that, the vulnerabilities they take in adulthood started very young.
Press the ball! No one behind you, White!
Parents don't understand that one of the most powerful things is your gift of speech. And you have to be very careful what you say as a parent, as a coach, and you're better off saying nothing than something if it's not going to be helpful.
Listen, I don't even want to say anything. You know why? because you guys did an awesome job. I'm not going to say one thing because you guys are awesome. Is it? Good job. Nice job.
The children are allowing us to come into their game. It's not our game. It's not an MLS game. It's not a women's professional soccer league game. So relax and enjoy their game.